Greetings, Goddess Body, Mind, Spirit, community. How are you all doing? This is Tyra Omilade, your goddess guru, your sister friend. And y'all know I love helping the women along with their life purpose using the power of ancient wisdom and the goddess-centered lifestyle. Happy Friday. How are you all doing? A lot of us call this Ocean's Day, baby. Yeah, time to have a little bit of fun, kick back. I won't be on too late tonight because, yeah, your girl, she waits to the last minute to get her taxes done. I confess. I confess. There's some people who have their taxes done, and there's some people who don't have their taxes done. And I'm in the group of people who don't have their taxes done. And it is April 8th. And I'm doing everything in my power to make sure that I don't wait until the last minute. So, how is everybody doing this evening? Let me see who is here. Hey, Rachel. I thought about you. I almost said, let me get up and dance. Rachel might be here tonight, but I worked out right before I came on and I'm like, ooh, it's 8 something. I'm an early bird and I just worked out. Woo. Yeah, maybe tomorrow, Rachel. Hey, Natalia, how are you? I'm so happy to know you're appreciating all the videos. Woohoo, woohoo. I love making them. Good evening, 773 to the 859. How are you? Greetings to all of you gorgeous, gorgeous women. Any gorgeous brothers out there, how are you? I want to just show y'all this lady. I love this lady. Let me just go to her. Oh, I know what I could do. I'll do this. So, fun fact, when you get to a place where let me see. Okay. When you get to a place where you're starting to go through the change, you do have to make changes in how you eat. And so and I'm going to take these off because if I don't have to hear anything, I don't need to keep those on my head. Okay, here's another thing about going through the change. Some of us get ultra sensitive. I have gotten so sensitive to everything ever since I started going through the change. But yeah, one of the hardest parts about going from being menstruating and having your moon flow to that place in the middle, perimenopause to menopause, is actually called the word acceptance. Acceptance, because your hormones have changed, but it's just so subtle. And then all of a sudden, it's just like one day, it just seems like the things you used to be able to do, you can't do. And so I have had the biggest issue accepting that, like, my um what do you call it, what is this word I'm looking for, IBE, metabolism, thank you. My metabolism is now on the outside of my body. My metabolism does not lie on the inside of my body anymore. And the kind of workouts that means that I really have to be careful of what I eat. I have to be careful of eating too much in terms of like carbs. It's not no carbs, but it's definitely more of a high protein way of eating. I will eat fat before actually I eat carbs most days. And then the other piece that I've had to accept is that I have to work out a certain way. And if I just walk and maybe do a little bit of cardio, some days my weight will go up. And so I just have had to accept, baby, you need to lift them weights daily. You need to lift them daily. And I actually like weights, to be honest with you. I like weight bearing exercises. I like the burn of, working the muscles. And so, but I'm going to tell you, it's nothing like seeing somebody who looks like you. Um, this chica right here, she's out of the UK. Her name is Melissa Neal. I think Melissa is like 50. She might be like 53, 54. She's just a little bit older than me. And my friend, one of my sister priestesses, sent her information to me one day. And I was like, yeah, yeah, yeah. I already know what she's teaching. Like, I know this. And as the scale has crept up, I was like, what was her name again? So I decided to invest in her program. It's called Lean and Strong. I make no money off of this. I just love this lady so much. I had tears in my eyes this evening, sisters. I'm on day 6 of this program, and like, I'm like, "Oh, no, I'm gonna get this workout done." I stayed up late working on my newsletter last night. If you got my newsletter, let me know, what did you think about it? I feel like I gave y'all a great newsletter. My newsletter from yesterday, I was like, "I know exactly what I'm gonna talk about." I feel like that was a very good newsletter. But I, was up till like 1 o'clock in the morning working on it and been tired all day. And then all of a sudden, I've done 2 coaching calls today for 2 coachees of mine and some other stuff. I can't remember what else. And just been doggone tired, just flat out tired. And all of a sudden, I was like, I've got to get my workout done. And I just started crying because I'm even using heavier weights than I typically use. Just because I can handle it. I don't care about you lifting heavy, to be honest with you. I got in the best shape of my life at 40 using 5-pound weights. I was a size 8, only time I've been a size 8 in my adult life, but I did it. 5-pound weights, okay? I'm more of a bar kind of gal, okay? I'm not into heavy lifting. She is, and you got to do a lot of reps and, it's oh my gosh. It can, and she even says, "You're going to be tired, but this is what you gotta do because 'cause you're over 40, you over 50, this is what you gotta do." And for me, it was more of like 45 that things really started to change quite a bit. But yeah, I just really love Melissa so much. I love her, I love her, I love her. Let me see who else is here. Yes, happy Venus Day. Okay, I'm missing all these good comments. Okay, Natalia loves weightlifting. Yes, I am meeting more and more women who love weightlifting. Um, And to me, if you love weightlifting, perimenopause and menopause will be so much easier. I was just way too much cardio, and it just really has taken me a long time to get on board. I actually started teaching bar back in 2018. I love bar. I love the burn. I don't know, lifting weights or doing weight bearing exercises, doing bar. It just makes me feel so strong and um, energized. Hi, Sharmika. She does, doesn't she? She's on YouTube. You'll see her videos all over YouTube. And another thing that I love about her, besides her being a brown woman and she's older, well, that's what I love. It just makes me feel seen and heard. And I don't know if you can, I don't really know where to go to see other pictures of her, but like she's a body, no, is a bodybuilder, something like that. Yeah, bodybuilder. Um, you know, her little stomach pokes out a little bit. I forgot what she calls it. What is it called, y'all, when you're, maybe when you have a baby and your abdominal muscles go out, but she just looks so incredible and phenomenal. Yeah, phenomenal. And I don't know. It makes me get up. I'm like, okay, me and Melissa, and then it's a lot of brown women. She might work with everyone, I'm sure, but the ones that most get highlighted by her are brown women. And she said she even mostly sells to women in the US, to be honest with you. It just feels so empowering. And one thing about the new generation of women, which is us, is that we are not like I know 60 plusers who you would think they were more of like what we would imagine a 50 pluser is. They have so much energy. I mean, like, wow, they're amazing. And then, there's a lot of us that are just choosing to stay strong and healthy and young. And, I just encourage you all to do that. And, for the younger sisters, you need help, let us know. We're here for you, okay? I don't want the younger sisters to be struggling so much. It hurts my heart. But one thing I'm gonna say to the younger sisters, we're gonna have a sister circle chat tonight. We're gonna have a real sistars chat. Is I know that like the generation of women who came before my generation and my sisters who are in their 60s, I would even say the sisters in their 40s, like, they did a better job than perhaps the women who came before them, but a lot of us are just, like, having to find a lot of stuff out. Nobody told us certain things that were gonna come down the pathway because rites of passages for women have not been really, um, formalized and systematized, but our generation I remember being in my 20s feeling like I wanna lead rites of passages for girls. Like, where did that come from? I never heard of anything like this, right? But in my 20s, I actually worked on it a little bit. I would, like, sit down and craft all these and this is, like, crazy that I'm thinking about this, but I would craft, like, these plans of rites of passages that I was gonna take young women through. I didn't even know there were such things as priestesses or anything at that point. And of course, I've gone through it. My godmother, we have a piece for the sisters when they first start their moon flow, a special ritual. But yeah, we're figuring a lot of stuff out on our own. And so it's some stuff that we maybe haven't told the younger sisters. And I apologize on behalf of all of us who maybe have fallen short because we didn't know and we're like catching up and figuring it out. The one thing that I want to offer to the younger sisters is number 1, grant us a little bit of grace. Number 2, y'all really should come to us for help. Why are y'all trying to figure everything out? And those of us who are in my generation, if you have the good fortune of getting older and having this wisdom, we've got to figure out how to share it so that we don't make the younger sisters feel bad about themselves or like they're idiots or anything like that. Like we don't want to do that. But we've got to start figuring out how to have these conversations because I just don't want the younger sisters to be struggling so much. We got to figure this out. Okay, yes, happy Venus Day. I just want to put this up. Thank you for looking at it. I'm so happy to hear that, Shamika. Hey, Eileen, be safe in driving. She's driving home. I'm hitting 40 next year, so this is right on time. Yes, Sharmika. Now, let me tell you about 40s. My theory about the 40s is that the 40s is not old. You're not old when you're in your 40s. I remember when I was like 38, I thought I was just like, I had arrived. And I was teaching water aerobics at the time, and the elders would say, I've been married longer than you. You've been alive. Okay, baby, you still young. And I was like, dang, when they gonna let me grow up? Even at 52, the elders tell me, you like I think I posted this one time on Instagram and on my community tab here on YouTube. I've known Mama Gina. Let me see here. I've been married 27 years. I probably know Mama Gina 27 years plus. And she sent me a birthday card this year for my birthday. I'm 52. And she said, "Hey, little girl, happy birthday." I was like, "Okay, I'm still a little girl." Okay. So 40, actually, now that I'm 52, is very young. All of the 40s is young. I posted a picture today of me and my husband, and I was like, "Oh, we were so young, just 49 on this picture." Um, so it is such a good phase. It is such a beautiful phase to be 40, in the 40s. It's like you are like the the sages of the young people. You're the if we think about like there's elementary, middle school, and high school, y'all are the seniors. Y'all are like, in college and everything. And so I think 40 is young, and trust me, until about 44, 45, it was like totally the same as being 30 something. 45, in my opinion, it based on my anecdotal research, 45 is a time of where I see a lot of women starting to turn the corner where they're like, "Ooh, this weight, okay, I'm gonna have to get myself together." I have a friend, I call her my skinny friend. She's 2 years younger than me. She and I used to do African dance together. We would perform together. And so when I saw her struggling with her weight at 45, because I was like, "I told you. I told you." She was like, "Girl, you did tell me." I was like, all of us need to just really take this thing seriously if my skinny friend's struggling. And she's smaller than she's ever been. And she just turned 50 this year. But she's willing to do what Melissa's done. But 40 is so beautiful. It's a fun age. It's actually sort of like an Oshun year. And for all my sisters, 52 is an Oshun year also. Uh, let's see here. Peace, Eileen. I'm 46 and still young, period with a T, is what Eileen said. Yes. It is said that a woman comes into her own autumn. Yes, I think that's what that says. In her 30s. It's true, Natalia. It is true. It is around 37, 38. I remember at 38, I called my teacher, my godmother, and I was like, "This is the first time I ever really felt like I'm finally grown. I finally feel like a grown woman." She was like, "Oh, I didn't tell you." I was like, "Tell me what?" She was like, "Yeah, women, we finally like hit true maturity at about 37, 38. And between that time from like 37, 38 until maybe 42ish, plus or minus a year or two, is when women are, like, at their peak, actually. And she talked about somebody she knew started dating, like, this 20-something-year-old guy, and a woman's, sex drive might go higher, and women just feel alive during that time. So embrace late 30s, early 40s, embrace it. To me, the 40s is a beautiful time, and it's just really important to learn how to take care of yourself. Hey, Ashley, how are you? Good to see you or to have you here. Hey, Virgo Bliss, welcome, Queen. So yeah, it's really important for us to start finding ways to make sure we can help bring women into the fold. I'm glad that we're having this conversation because it's one that's really important to me to have with you all because my mom died when I was 27 years old. And honestly, you know, 27 is very young. And it's like, I watch my aunts. I don't know everything that happened to them. I have a cousin who told me like when she went through menopause, she got through menopause at 50, but there just really hasn't been much talk. I did watch my mother-in-law. She was about 50 something when I got with my husband. And so I did get to watch her process or whatever, but it's just not a lot of talk. It has been really, really a big shift because once we come into our 50s, what I felt was like, okay, well, I know I'm not like a true elder, but I don't exactly feel like I have to be considered like a neophyte either. And it was just like confusing. And so, like, how do we help people become good elders? These are the questions that we're going to have to answer. Yay. I'm 38. Ooh, so young. And I feel these past 2 years, I have grown the most of my life. Yes, Virgo Bliss. My mother passed when she was 37, 38. I'm blessed to still be here and healthy. That is so good Virgo bliss. You are blessed to be here. And, to carry on the legacy, that is so very young. My mother was 50, and I thought that was young, but yeah, 37, 38. That's, oh God, that is so young. So I'm proud of you. I'm happy for you, Virgo bliss. Yes, Priestess Ellen, baby elder. That's where I am right now. That's where I am. Do y'all mind if I look at Will Smith's chart? Now, I don't want to do it to be gossipy or anything like that. And my position is whatever we see in the world, if it's something great, then good. That's something that's in us. But if it's something that is a problem, it's in us, and it's incumbent upon us to do our part to heal it, figure out how have we contributed to it today. And I really haven't even been keeping up with too much. Maybe I see a headline or two, and I'm gonna tell y'all where I wanna look at his chart. Today, I saw a video, somebody had posted a video where Jada started recording him, asking him if he was excited about somebody coming on to the red table who had helped them in their marriage. What did he think about that? And he looked and was like, first of all, don't be recording me without my permission, or don't start recording me, and because this is my bread and butter. And then of course he's been banned from the Oscars for 10 years. And I thought, you know what? We could look at his chart and use it as a case study to better understand, maybe to avoid Mm, you know, the speculation, because everybody's on different sides of the. Do I have this right? Yeah. Everyone's on different sides of the aisle. It's not even one aisle, it's multiple aisles. Like, we just hear so many people saying so many different things about this couple and that situation. But we can actually look at his chart, see what's going on, and yeah, just see, and also for you to see the potential that is in a chart. I had someone contact me today and was like, Everything that you said to me in that last reading, and a lot of it came from this chart, her chart." She was like, "It is playing itself out right now." So, okay, Shamika said, "Let's do it." Ah, thank you. Thank you. Okay, cool, 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 cool. In his book, he said he's always in character, so I haven't paid attention to it. I think for me, um, I don't know. Today, when I saw him, and I know I will tell y'all I'm biased. I've always been a Will Smith fan. I do not condone what he did at all. He is wrong. Well, that's my opinion. That should have never happened. Um, Him slapping Chris Rock like that. Um, but watching his book launch, mm, I was like, I finally know who Will Smith is. I finally see this is somebody who, like, even though I love Will Smith, I always would say, if he came today and was like, you can have all my money, let's be together, I would stay with my husband. I'd be like, no, I'm good. I'm good with my husband, Craig. First of all, my husband, Craig, is amazing. But secondly, I always could tell it's like somebody this intense. Mm-mm. Okay, so I feel a little bit sorry for him, but I know I'm a little bit um biased. But let's just see. And I want y'all to tell me some questions that you might would have about Will Smith. I'm gonna just blow it up a little bit. Yeah, I told Craig, I was like, if Will Smith came for me today, it would be a hard no. Okay. But I would be his friend. We could hang out and I would do his readings for him. I'd be like, Will, you need me to be your astrologer. You need me to be your spiritual guide, boo. You need some help. Okay. So one thing about Will Smith, and I talked about his chart, right after the incident happened, is he's a Gemini. So he's funny, and that's Gemini's. One thing I didn't do before is I didn't put Lilith in here. Lilith is a asteroid. Now, I'm not super adept at the asteroids, but what I do know about Lilith is if you have, she's a point of wounding, but also radical transformation. Anyone who works with Lilith, feel free to comment. But for him to have Lilith in his first house, which is the house of the body, is the house that kind of like kicks off like major cycles in his life. And then this point right here, the ascendant is very close to Lilith. This man walks around with a wound all the time, and it's in his head. I could tell you that. He has a lot of heady energy. And so, yeah, Lilith in this ascendant point, if there's anything close to the ascendant, it's gonna dictate something about you. It's gonna tell you maybe a quality or a trait that you have, or it's gonna tell you something about how you look, or like what you may experience. And I can tell y'all with him having Lilith in the first house that close, because the ascendant is your body, it's the point of entry into this world. That's where you came into. The ascendant is the sign that is on the horizon at the moment of your birth. And I want to just put us on pause for a minute, because last night we were talking a little bit about astrology. Yeah, I was supposed to get off and do my taxes, but look at me. I'm getting real comfortable, right? I could feel myself like settling down in my chair and everything. Okay. So last night we talked about the different types of charts that people use. One is sidereal, another one is tropical. And so I said tropical is local. It's a local zodiac. It's called the meta zodiac. And then we also look at the zodiac that's based on the seasons. It's actually multiple zodiacs that we live according to. Check that out. So the one that is a 24 uh hour cycle is the one that sets the ascendant. So it's just think of it as like a clock that's turning. And so, like, if you don't know your birth time within like 5-10 minutes, it can make all the difference in knowing whether or not you are, say, for instance, a Gemini or a Taurus. I mean, this is called the meta zodiac. That thing turns and changes. It's within 24 hours, right? This thing is turning and changing. And so, um, and it's like a clock that's over us and it's turning. And then we have the one that's based on the seasons, like where the sun is, it's spring, it's summer, it's fall. So we have two zodiacs that we're working with, right? And so this point of entry into the zodiac, it's setting up. The way I envision it in my mind is it's like, okay, in order for me to have this mission, to fulfill this mission, to have this experience, to learn this lesson, then I've got to set up my entry point into the world at this particular degree, okay, which is based on a time. And I've heard this time is accurate for him. It's this degree, and this it sets off a whole cycle. It sets off a clock, basically, because see, this wheel doesn't stop turning. We enter into it at he entered it at 7 degrees of Gemini, but the meta zodiac kept turning, and so that might would produce something like a progress chart, which in his rising chart, he's a Gemini. I mean, his natal chart, he's a Gemini. But in his progress chart, I call it the evolutionary chart. Typically, when I'm talking to people who, aren't familiar with astrology, in his progress chart, he's a Cancer because we evolve. That's what I love about astrology. It helps to show, okay, where am I in my evolution? Well, he's a Cancer rising, which means these eclipses, OMG. They have a lot to do with what's going on with Bruh Will, right? So, um, so anything that is close to this ascendant point, it dictates a lot about what kind of life you're going to have, what you look like. Some people don't have, he doesn't have any planets there, but he does have Lilith there. So let me see if anybody talks about Lilith. Lilith is in my rising sign, Sagittarius. How close is it to your ascendant point, Ellen? I can tell you this man is wounded. He's very, very wounded. Okay. So let's look to see. Gemini is ruled by Mercury. So let's see where Mercury is. Mercury is over here in the 5th house, because the planet that rules that sign, wherever it is going to tell you something else about that person. So Gemini is somebody who talks, they're funny, they're social, and they are really into networking. And his Mercury is here in Libra in the 5th house. So he's already very Venusian because he's a Libra, and he has his Venus here in Libra. So that's good, except that his Venus is at 29 degrees of Libra. We're going to talk about that in a minute. His sun sign is here in Libra, and he has the South Node, which is related to perhaps what did you experience in a past lifetime, or it's what you did the last lifetime. And so you'll bring in some gifts, some talent, some skills from it. But this is not really what your mission is. It's like a point of support, and it lets you kind of know, like, this is your comfort zone, but you don't want to stay here, but it can help you. Okay. So he has 3 planets and his South Node here in Libra, which is very artsy. So here we go. His body is in the house of Libra, which makes him a good looking person. I think Libras are very beautiful. Some signs, just the people just are more beautiful because they're Venusian. I think Pisces is another sign that makes people really pretty, but definitely Libras and Tauruses, they're just beautiful people because they're Venusian ruled. So that's something that I could say. He might look like a Libra. He might carry himself like a Libra, actually. He's always been a little bit neat in his attire. Um, Despite what he did at the Oscars, um, he typically has been somebody who is rather diplomatic and appropriate. He likes to have a certain look and style that's important, because that's Libra. Libras don't like to look bad. It makes Libras feel bad. If they don't look good, they don't like it. And that's like a hack for Libras. That Libras need, if you want to feel good, Libra, dress up. Make sure you're dressing up and you're looking good. That is a remedy, I should say, because YouTube will, like, it doesn't like certain words. That's interesting. Anywho, um, so what I'm gonna tell you is I feel bad for Will. Because Will is not good at relationships, per his words. Um, and I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I notice Libras oftentimes struggle with relationships. It's no disrespect to the Libras. It's just something that I notice. It's a sign that you would think that they were really good at being at relationships, because this is a sign that has to do with relationships. But feel like Libras oftentimes come here to learn about what it means to be a Libra. Hey, Fallon. Um, and so um yeah, I'm going to tell you another reason why Will Smith is struggling in his marriages. This Venus right here is at what is called the 29th degree. And whenever let me drink this real quick. The 29th degree is called the anaretic degree. And whenever a planet is at the 29th degree, I'm telling you, this person struggles. I've seen it so many times. There is something that must be completed, and it's like a leftover from maybe a previous lifetime. It's something that's a little bit of unfinished business. And so at the 29th degree, It's like you're a little bit of the sign that you're in. So for him, it would be Libra, and you're a little bit of the sign that comes after, which is Scorpio. And so 29 degrees, I just find people really struggle. It all depends on what what house it's in, what sign it's in, or whatever. So for him, he struggles in relationships. First of all, it's Venus on the 29th degree. And he even has Mercury on 28 degrees, which is a critical degree. So it really does kind of speak to he struggles with the mind. He struggles with relationships. And then his Venus is opposite Saturn. First of all, he has Saturn in Aries. Saturn can be the dad. And we all know, I can't remember what his dad's name is. We all know how his dad is. Well, he talks about his dad. Hard, harsh, hardcore man. And he's so bad. Will said that in the video series that was a part of his book launch, he even had considered his dad was like on his deathbed or like really ill at this point. He actually considered like taking his dad out and he didn't. But that's how much this man hurt Will Smith because he was so abusive to his mom. So, first of all, we already got Saturn in Aries. Saturn does not like Aries. Aries is like the energy of youth and it's impulsive. It's like, hey, let's go, let's do this thing. We don't have to think about it. You know, let's go. Energy, energy, energy. We don't need any plans. Saturn is the elder. And it's like, no, we're gonna take this thing. We're gonna have a plan. We're gonna be slow. We're gonna be methodical, and we're gonna do a really good job. And so Aries is the sign of the warrior, a fighter, somebody who can really go toe to toe. Y'all just hang with me. Just hang with me. Saturn, there's these signs that the planets do really, really well in. Very well. It's called exalted. So Saturn is exalted in Venus. It's better than good in Venus. I mean, not Venus, Libra. Saturn is exalted in Libra. So Saturn is over here in a sign where it's like no good in. And we can make the best of all planets when these don't really dictate exactly how things play out. But we need to know this so we know our challenges and we can do something about them. That's what I call living astrology. So we have this abusive dad who, my God, this dad pushed him to achieve goals. Like that's here in this house. And it's opposite Venus. And so it's no telling what kind of pain from his dad that is in him that's also oppositioning this Venus, which is already really, really sensitive. This man has problems with relationships. This man has problems with relationships. It's a really big struggle. And so I heard a Vedic astrologer say that a man with a messed up Venus, he has to do a lot of spiritual work. Like this man, Will Smith might need to go and be a monk for a little while. He might need to just go far away and do some type of spiritual something. What's the other one? The moon. Okay. Oh my God. His moon is that's a harsh moon. The moon, it does well. The moon pretty much can do well in any sign, but it's Scorpio. Anybody who has planets in Scorpio may feel like they have experienced trauma. It's a sign of trauma. People who have Scorpio energy, they've experienced extreme highs and lows. It's not an easy sign. And the moon is about the inner world and your emotions. It has to do with the mom. It has to do with place of living. And so, for Will Smith, first of all, his moon is in the sixth house, which is the house of problems. It's in the house of Scorpio, which is all about wounding. Now, it can be about money also. It could be about debt, maybe something with taxes, and his moon is very close to Neptune. So again, just like his ascendant being close to Venus, Lilith, this moon being close to Neptune, I could imagine he might be in his head quite a bit, but I can imagine this man has extreme emotions going on the inside, but it's Scorpio, and Scorpio is like, never let him see you sweat. Never. And it's about intimacy. And you know what? I remember I didn't really keep up with this too much, but it was something about him and his something about his sexuality, sex life, problems, something like that. I don't know. I can see that with this moon in the 6th house. Now, the thing that I would say for Will Smith is he really needs spirituality on his side. I don't know what his spiritual life is like, but he needs some sort of spirituality. And he needs to keep working out. That's very good for him because that moon is in the 6th house. So it's a lot of, it's a lot going on. Now, this sun in Libra at 3 degrees of Libra, that's pretty good. In the 5th house, all these planets. Now, I will say one thing that the Venus has going on for her in the 5th house, even though she's here on this anaretic degree, she loves being in the 5th house. So this 5th house makes him very creative. Libra makes him very creative. Um, the planet of his body in this house, he's very creative. Maybe he'll go into fashion and design. I don't know if he has a design line or anything like that. So that's really, really interesting. Um, seeing him with his mom. I don't really know what his relationship is. I know he loves her to pieces. This moon being close to Neptune, I can imagine his mom is probably very important to him feeling right about himself. Um, Let me see here. What else do I want to tell y'all? Now, down here in this 4th house, the other thing that I'll say about Will Smith, whew, is this 4th house has to do with emotions, the inner world, the landscape. It has to do with the home. And oh, look at this. It has to do with the home and family, ancestors. Jada is a Virgo. Jada's a Virgo. Now Jada to me is like, if you want to know what kind of woman would Will Smith want, he wants a classy woman, smart woman. And Jada fits the bill because that's his Venus. His Venus is in Libra. His moon is in Scorpio. And dang, because this is, you look at Venus and Scorpio, oftentimes, especially for men, to find out what kind of woman will this man be attracted to. And I know we don't live in a like totally binary world at this point. It's for anybody, no matter how you describe yourself. You can largely look at Venus and the moon for everybody to know what will they need in the relationship. Like Venus is going to tell you something about what you need in the relationship. The moon will tell you about the emotional needs. But the thing is, with someone born into a male body, they identify as male. That's how I'll say it. You definitely are going to be looking at Venus and the moon to know what are they looking for in their partner. And so um for him, he wants a classy woman, but man, this moon in Scorpio, Jada, I don't really know. I love Jada. I don't I don't know a lot about Jada, but I can imagine Jada's a little Scorpio. She even has those little eyes. I haven't looked at Jada's chart, but Jada is a Virgo. Her sun sign is Virgo. And so this 4th house is telling you something about the house he was raised up in and something about the home that he's in right now, the home that he creates as an adult. And he's got some crazy strong, i.e., rough planets there. Thank goodness he has Jupiter there. Not to say Jupiter is the best in Virgo. It'll be okay, but having that planet of good fortune there is good. Even though Jupiter, It'll blow anything. It'll expand anything. And so, Virgo is not an easy sign. It's a hard sign. Virgos are Virgo, Capricorn, and Pisces. Those are some of the most hardcore signs to be born under and to have planets in. That is very hard. Virgo is a very difficult sign. And here he has Mars down here in the house that has to do with the home. Man, if I didn't know that whose chart this was, I would be like, this person probably was raised up in violence, trauma, things happening all of a sudden because of Uranus being there. Where's his greatest wound? Well, where's Pluto? Home, family, ancestors. And then he's got Jada that she's like the home. And you can kind of see it too. Like I remember when she first started the Red Table, he came in and he's like, I've been gone filming and I'm back. And I'm like trying to be in my house, but she didn't turn this into a set. Um, so, yeah, that tells me something right there too. But yeah, this is harsh. This is harsh. She has some harsh placements. Why is Will Smith so driven? I would say partly is this here. This is part of the reason he's very goal driven and he has that stamina because his I remember him saying something like, nobody will outlast me. This 11th house has to do with, you know, um, goals and achievement and, making money. And let's see here. Mm, so one thing that I know that happened last year is that the eclipses were in Gemini and Sag. And anybody who listened to me talk about the eclipses, I was like, "Oh, Gemini and Sag, is your turn. You're up. You're up. Your turn." Um, your life is changing. Your life is going in a new direction. That's what those eclipses were about. And so, if you have eclipses in the 1st, 7th, 4th, and 10th, it's going to create some change. Okay. He probably had some changes when the eclipses went through like that year. I think it was like 2017, maybe the top of 2018. There were eclipses, or no, even into 2018, top of 2019. His life went through some changes then also. They may not have been as pronounced. What was happening with him during that time? I have no idea. If anyone knows, let me know. But I can imagine he had big changes then. But definitely he had changes on the horizon, topsy-turvy type of life. And we did see him have this new beginning. It was like a clean slate with the book. He made this movie. He's been getting all of these accolades. Big, big things happening for him. But why? What's going on with him now might be these eclipses in the 12th and 6th house. Because let me tell you something, the 12th house for him is lit up. This house of Taurus has Uranus there. It's all kinds of stuff underneath the surface that's being brought up for the Geminis. See, to me, when what I've noticed is when you have the eclipses in the 1st house, then they move to the 12th house. It's like you are first of all, you get reset and then you have to figure out like you have to get reorganized. And so that's like maybe 3 years people have to like get themselves back together. So the ones who had the if you're a Cancerian, check this out. I've noticed it with the Cancerians. Whenever the eclipses are in a particular sign, that's who requests the most readings from me. So the Geminis, I mean the Cancerians and the Capricorns, they were with me in 2020. Yeah, 2020 for sure. 2019, 2020. And then when the eclipses moved in Gemini and Sag, they were still like trying to scramble and get themselves together. And then as it's gotten closer to this year, the Cancerians are like, "Oh, I feel better." Like they feel normal, right? Well, the Cancerians had the eclipses go through their signs the last 15 months or so. And now the Geminis and the Sagittarius are like having to reorganize themselves and get their lives together, right? And so it's all down here. It's all in here. The subconscious mind, what we've been talking about, man. Okay. I have missed so many comments. Y'all see, oh, T Luna M Hotep is here. What's up, Queen? Okay. Okay. We love astrology talk. Good. Me too. Astrology is where it's at. Yes. Hi, T Luna. How are you? I'm happy that you're here. Are you still out of the country? Are you in Tanzania, just like everyone else that I've been meeting here lately? My Lilith is in Pisces, I believe. Yeah, I don't even know where my Lilith is because I typically don't work with Lilith. 22 degrees Sagittarius. But is it, Ellen, is what is your ascendant degree? Is Lilith close to your ascendant? I'm curious. Ashley said Lilith is in my second house in Pisces, third house in whole sign. I'm proud of you, Ashley, doing both of the charts, both of those house systems. Yeah. So Lilith is either impacting your confidence and your money or your mind and mm, maybe what you've learned, Ashley. That's how Lilith works. Ashley may have like had some challenges in school or maybe with siblings. Are we talking about Uncle Will? Yes, he's a Libra by sun sign and a Gemini by rising sign. Venus is Bay, yes. Libras are attractive and like attractive people and things. This is true. They love their homes to be beautiful. And this is generalizations. Okay. Some Libras have to, they have to grow into the Libra thing, just like the Scorpios do or Leos. It's there are so many Leos who lack confidence. Why? That's why they were born a Leo, so they could get their confidence, right? This right here is his natal chart. Oh, yeah. So maybe that's what you were telling her, Ashley. That's his progress chart. Hey, Fallon. I love them. Jada is my birthday twin. She's misunderstood often. Virgos are often misunderstood. Yes. Willard. That was his dad's name. Okay. If a planet is at 28 degrees and 45 minutes, does that count as 29 degrees? Yes. Sort of. Sort of, yes. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't all the time use the minutes unless it's something like, and I'm not even really into this yet. Kazemi is, or yeah, Kazemi is like when the minutes really matter. I just see 29 and I go with 29. 28 is critical. 28, 29 is actually kind of the same. 3 planets there in Scorpios have always been attracted to me, and I never knew why until learning astrology. Nice. Ashley, okay. Gemini, Sun, Sag rising here just got admitted. Yay! Congratulations. She had asked for us to just really hold space for her. Congratulations. Life is changing so much for the Geminis and the Sages, so much. Mm. Sag, yep. Mhm. Let me see here. Okay. So, what do I want to tell y'all about looking at his chart? So what else do I see that potentially is creating issues for Will? Um, his MC, so the MC, and there's a point right across from here called the IC. These are points that if they get activated, something's going to change. And so, you know, his points got activated. Where's Saturn right now? At 22 degrees. So his point, his MC, which is his career point, got activated by the planet that rules um Aquarius, which the ancient ruler is Saturn. Oh, another thing. Okay, so Saturn activated this point right here, and it's in the ninth house, which is a house that has to do with publicity, and you can become like more seen um, when your ninth house is activated. We've had Venus there, the Sun, Mercury, and Mars is there now. Saturn is there. Jupiter was there and left at the end of December. It didn't go back to 14 degrees though. Okay. So something about career is activated now. Okay. And something else that is really hitting up this career point is this Uranus right here. Where's Uranus? At 13 degrees. It's doing what is called a square. And when you have a square to something like your MC, trust and believe something's going to change and it's not going to feel comfortable. It will not feel comfortable. And Uranus has to do with um, something changing all of a sudden. But the thing about Uranus is it's like this should have been changed anyway. Like Uranus is like something all of a sudden happens, which is what happened at the Oscars. Something out of the blue all of a sudden happens. Now, this Uranus is in his house of the subconscious mind. And so, you know, who knows what boiled up in his head. I really have not even watched the scene too many times because it looks so violent. I just cannot take looking at him slap Chris Rock like that. I don't want to analyze it. I don't want it in my consciousness, my psyche, nothing. But I can tell you something boiled up inside of him at some point. He did something very Uranian. It was just like all of a sudden. And so, and look at how it's affecting his career. But I subscribe to everything happens exactly like it's supposed to happen. And Will's life is supposed to be reset. Maybe he didn't make some changes that he was supposed to make. And the universe and the planets and his higher self was like, oh, you're going to make these changes, Will. We're going to make it where you don't have a choice. So, wowzers. I predict he's going to do something new and different in his career. Um, let's see here. What else do I see? So, yeah, that's been activated. And he had a Chiron return. Let's see here. Where's Chiron? Mm-mm-mm. Chiron is at 12 degrees of Aries. So I don't remember when Chiron, I don't really keep up with. Let me see if I can pull this up. Oh no, I need the asteroid ephemeris. These are ephemerises. It's like no, I want the asteroid ephemeris. It's like here we go. It's like how you keep up with everything. I'll put it that way. So Chiron, okay, wait a minute. So his north node is at 9 degrees of Aries. The north node is like the direction that you're supposed to go in. If you want to know your life purpose, look at this north node. Okay. If you want to know what you're supposed to do, I was in so much denial that I was supposed to have a spiritual business. Fallon is on here. She's on Facebook. She witnessed my dance and fitness career. And I was just doing everything I could. I'm a health coach. I'm a certified group fitness instructor. And my North Node is in Pisces in the fifth house, which could be the dance part. But I looked at it and I was just like, just got to make peace with the fact that my North Node is in a place where it's about spirituality. And so if you really want to know what you're supposed to do or what you're here to learn, that North Node is everything. And so his North Node has been activated. You could say it has to do with like, yeah, your destiny. And we have Chiron, which is the wounded healer that has recently moved across this 9 degrees of Aries. So let's see here. That started in, well, we can even count this 8 degrees in January. When did he put that book out? February, 10 degrees, 11 degrees. I don't remember when this incident happened, but what Chiron can do, even though as we get older, Chiron really becomes more of like a friend, and you can use it as a path to healing. You could use it to become a healer. But Chiron will activate some stuff. It will bring up that wounding. And, you know, it's that, I mean, wounding and what wounding around career, destiny, all that kind of good stuff. And I wonder if Will Smith is needing to go in a different direction. I don't question whether or not he is supposed to have done all the things that he's done, but I wonder if he's supposed to go in a different direction. And now Chiron and just some of the things that are happening in his chart are making it so that he doesn't have a choice but to do those things. And I would say if it's anything that Will needs to do, fourth house, maybe go into real estate because the fourth house has to do with real estate. Virgo has to do with being a narrow specialist of some sort. Healing, it's actually a very healing sign. Um, and maybe he's gonna still be creative, but just in a different way is perhaps how it might play out. Maybe he will start doing more of the behind the scenes type of things, which he doesn't look like a very behind the scenes kind of guy. He's very fortunate because when you have most of your planets down here at the bottom of your chart, sometimes you have a later start in life. So the fact that it being successful, and it may be because he did start out young and hadn't figured everything out on the inside. Now he's going to come back and do that. Let me see here. Your AC is 10 degrees Sag, and let me find you again. This is Ellen. I think she said 22 degrees. Okay, so that's a nice little, it's kind of far away from each other, so it may not it's still in your house of Sag, but it's not real close to your body. So it might feel more like an echo or a whisper. The lessons of Lilith, because Lilith is about where you can find your power also. Will's gonna have to really dig deep. He's gonna have to dig deep. He's gonna have to heal, you know. Let me see here. I have my sun, Mercury, Saturn in Scorpio. Wow. Oh, Pluto. You have a stellium. That's 4 planets, Sharmika. That's another one. When you have a stellium, so he has a stellium down here. This is an example like of what Sharmika has in her chart, just in a different place. 4 planets make a stellium. And actually, he has like all these planets down here, even though it's between 2 different houses. It's just a lot of planets in a row. And so that is another point, or you could look at it as you need to understand your destiny. So I would say for Shamika, if it's in Scorpio, like part of your destiny is definitely like healing work or um yeah, I would say healer, or maybe you're going to be doing some type of spiritual work. You could be working with money because Scorpio, quite frankly, has to do with money, will, estate planning, stuff like that. And people who have this, they're obsessed. And he is obsessed now that I think about it. They're a little bit obsessed. My husband has a stellium. And people like this, they don't need a lot of people around them. They are unto themselves because they're so focused on that stellium, that the whatever that is, that stellium is about. They are so focused on it. So that explains a little bit of his obsession also. Woo, he's in for a lot because we got these eclipses happening in Taurus and Scorpio. So he was already hit up with Gemini, eclipses. Now, one of the eclipses is happening directly on his moon in Scorpio. And it's the part of the eclipse is like, baby, you gonna let something go. You finna let something go. Let's see where this south node is. The south node, where is it? Is at 23 degrees. So it's getting closer. It's already transited his Neptune, which is that subconscious mind, and it's getting closer to transiting his moon. So the south node for all of us right now is like release through Scorpio. You're gonna release. My heart goes out to him. I don't condone anything he said, but if I looked at this person's chart and didn't know who it is, I would be like, man, I feel sorry for this person. This is a lot. Because when these eclipses move up here, then it's just going to be more like anytime the eclipses start hitting planets and these points, like part of fortune, Chiron, it's time to change. I mean, he can't help it. He's gonna heal. This is a time of healing. I'm convinced that this happened because Will Smith was avoiding doing something in terms of healing work, and the universe was like, "You ain't gonna do it. Watch us make you do this." Like I said, this is his progress chart. Let's see here. Well, in his progress chart, since he's a Cancerian, so this is a word for all the Cancerians. For Cancer and Leos, you don't have a planet that moves backwards. You don't have a planet that retrogrades. The moon does go dark when we're at the new moon. And then it gets bright at the full moon. And then it's like so powerful with the eclipses. So the Leos and the Cancerians, new moons and full moons, you need to make the most of those. And then for the Leos and the Cancerians, the eclipses change your life. No matter what else you have in your chart, you have to pay attention to the eclipses. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with Will Smith with these eclipses, knowing that he is a Cancer rising. And in this chart, his moon just moved into it was like right around that time. His moon had it's been there about 2 months in this new house of Scorpio. So again, I just say he's got to get healed up. Like it's a lot of energy in Scorpio. And it's something about Will Smith's children that will help him. He has a lot of fifth house energy. The other thing it could be is there's something about maybe using art to heal or something like that. And then of course he has all this going on down in the fourth house. It's like, oh my goodness. Oh, his Jupiter's at 0 degrees. I don't know. I need to look into that. I don't know a lot about the progressed Jupiter, but anywho, um, yeah, I'm not going to comment too much on that chart. So this is his solar return chart, which I find to be fascinating, because in his solar return chart, now the solar return chart is the day the sun gets back to that degree of your sun, then that's your solar return. And it might be on that day. And it just so happens that his solar return is actually on the 25th. It might happen the day before, it may happen the day after. Planets actually have a speed. They don't move at the same speed all the time. So maybe the sun will get someplace sooner, a little bit later. Like my solar return was on the 10th this year, even though my birthday is the 11th. And so whatever's in this first house, it's like you go back to the other chart and see what house is that. So in his birth chart, Cancer is the second house. So it's going to be a year that's largely focused on second house themes. Now in this chart, in the rising sign of his chart is Lilith. Where is Will dealing with some wounding and, he- you know, some power issues, some power and control issues. I would say as related to his emotions, maybe something with women, definitely with home and family. His solar return chart is at a new moon. Oh my God. His birthday was at the new moon. Wow. When you have a new moon birthday, and the reason I can tell you has a new moon birthday is because the sun and the moon are right here together in his solar return chart, then your life is going in a new direction. Everything is gonna change. Everything is gonna change. And so, yeah, wow. Will just has a lot of new beginnings, and it's something regarding the fourth house in this chart, the fifth house in the other chart. And so, yeah, this is even more new beginnings energy in here. And it's this house of the fourth house. It has to do with the emotions, the ancestors, family. So, is Will gonna move? Is Will gonna go get healed up? These are questions that we can wonder. Wait a minute. No, this is this year. Okay, he's gonna have a new moon birthday. Because I was like, "Wait a minute, the eclipses were not in Scorpio on his birthday." Hold on one second. Let me go back, and let's go to 2021. Oh, he's gonna have a new moon birthday this year? Y'all heard it from me. We think we done seen some stuff with Will Smith. We ain't seen nothing yet. Okay, so here, his, solar return chart is Pisces. Let's see what Pisces is. Oh, Pisces is the career house. Pisces is the career house. And another thing about him is the planet that rules Pisces, which is Jupiter, is not in a good spot. Now that I look at it, it's just not in a good spot. So, anywho, it really is a time of healing. I'm just not gonna deviate from that. It's just wow. And the Pisces is that subconscious mind, like I've been talking about. He has planets over here in Aquarius in the area that has to do with the subconscious mind. He has 3 planets over here in the 8th house, which has to do with healing and wounding. Like if I looked at this chart, I'd be like, okay, I got to work on healing myself, facing my wounding, going deep. So, um, and then he has, yeah. Anywho, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I'm just gonna be repeating myself. So yeah, let me see what y'all have to say. Mhm. Meant for the stars. Yay. Oh, glad you got settled in, Eileen. Hmm. Most of the traumatic things come up for me later in life, and it feels like a tidal wave when it hits. I bet with all those planets there, Ashley. I meant Shamika. Sorry. Okay, yeah, he might be more in production, Eileen. I think so. Oh, I said I was gonna do a reading for y'all before I get off. Yes, I'm sure he has a production. Well, I don't know, but I know it seems like he's in charge of that Fresh Prince show. Oh, yeah, Shamika, that is so Scorpio. I'm not gonna read all her comments. She's having a conversation with Ashley, and it's a little bit sensitive. Eileen, I do like this idea for him. I really do like how you phrase that. Maybe he'll start doing documentaries on healing. I I just wonder if Will is gonna go like become a monk for a little while or something like that. Go study with a guru, something. He needs an intervention. Oh, okay. So I'm gonna tell y'all something else. Let me pull this up. Because one question that I had was, why does he have the kind of relationship with Jada that he has? And so I've already talked about this Venus, just like Venus. on the 29th degree opposite hardcore Saturn and Aries. Like Saturn and Aries is like, I am not happy. I'm finna get everybody getting ready to get a spanking up in here. Okay. So when we're looking at marriage, um, we're looking at the seventh house. So if you want to know what his partner might would be like or what he wants in a marriage, then you would look at the seventh house. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Sag is not like the most faithful sign in marriages because Sag goes big, baby. Sag is. Now, I'm not saying Sagittarius is cheat because I know a lot of married Sagittarius they've been there for a long time. There's other stuff in their chart that could make them more like conducive to being in a long-term committed relationship with one person. But just the pure energy of Sag, I'm gonna tell y'all the signs that may not be the most faithful. Sag and Aquarius may not be the most faithful. And it's just because those are two signs that have a lot to do with freedom. They want expansion. They want to be able to go and do. So when you're in a relationship with a Sag or an Aquarius, you have to give them space to go be, do whatever it is they want to do. So what's the planet that rules Sag? Jupiter. And it's like, well, what condition is Jupiter in? Is Jupiter in a good place or is Jupiter in a bad place? Jupiter's in a bad place. It's in a very bad place. It's in what's called a fall position because Jupiter rules Pisces. And so whenever a planet that rules a sign is in the opposite sign, it's called fall, which means that it's not very strong. It's not happy in Virgo. So the wife of Will Smith is in a fall position. I mean, like he really needs somebody to tell him what he needs to do in order to make marriage work. Because it's just he just, this is not an easy place for the spouse. It's in the fall sign. It's in Virgo in the fourth house. Again, no disrespect to the Virgos, but Virgo is a sign of problems. It's not an easy sign. Now I will tell you because Jupiter is in Virgo, he will like women who are Virgos. Does anyone know the sign of his first wife? He will go for a Virgo woman because that's the sign of or the planet of marriage is in Virgo. So more than likely he would want a Virgo and he's married to one, Jada. But that's not necessarily the best sign for him to be married into. Or yeah, just because Jupiter is not good in Virgo. So it's like those kinds of things get revealed. And she's beautiful, just like Libra. But yeah, I mean, I can see why they're struggling. If Jupiter was in Leo, that would be a totally different marriage. He would have a whole different experience with relationships because Jupiter does well in the fire signs. So let's see here. Very good question. Chris Rock's upcoming tour is called Ego Death. I wonder how long he had that tour name. I would move to another country and heal. His star will rise again, but in another area. Yes. I agree, Eileen. Being in another country would be very good for him. He loves Dubai. He needs to go back to Dubai for a little while. Mhm, mhm. Okay, I can pull up Jada's chart. Maybe I'll pull her chart up tomorrow. Mm-mm. Yes. Last wife is a Scorpio. Okay. Well, we talked about how, thank you, Eileen. We talked about how he might look for a scorpionic wife or someone who can appeal to this Scorpio in him. Um, I think the best thing for Will is really to get healed up, and his relationship with his children, I think, are, well, let me see here. Well, I don't know, because that Venus is so sensitive right now. But I do think that being creative is good for Will, but he is also being called, another thing about Will is he might want to be like a motivational speaker, because his North Node is over here, maybe start a podcast. And oh, he even said that. That's what made me say, can we look at Will today? Because he told Jada today, or I don't know when the video was made, don't start recording me, because social media is my bread and butter. That's in this chart. 11th house, social media, North Node, that's where you need to go. So he'll be fine. He will thrive in social media. Once this blows over and he gets reset, gets healed up a little bit, he'll come back. He really will. But I do think it's going to be a number of years. Because when those eclipses start coming down here in the Libra, let's see if he and Jada stick together. Because this South Node is about releasing and letting go. And first thing it's gonna do is gonna hit this Venus. Um, and Venus is the wife. If you're looking for a woman, if you want to know what she wants in a man, and again, I apologize. Yeah, I just teach it the way it was taught, and we get it from the ancient times or whatever. And so I do not wish to be disrespectful, because I know we do not live in a binary world, but this is how I was taught. When you want to know what a woman is looking for in her husband or a partner, then you look at, Jupiter is one planet. In Vedic astrology, you can look at a woman's Jupiter and tell. But for sure, the sun is going to tell you a little bit about what you're looking for in a man, as well as maybe the Mars, maybe that'll tell you a little bit about a man. Yeah, the sun and Mars. And then Vedic astrology would be Jupiter. I don't know if I've heard people in Western astrology say Jupiter, but I find Jupiter works for me. My Jupiter is in Scorpio, and I'll be doggone. Thank you, Ashley. I'm married to a Scorpio. Yes, I have a friend, her daughter is non-binary. I've known this young person since she was in her mom's womb. And so I was just like, I just want to make sure I'm being respectful. Um, okay, y'all. Woo. Okay. Oh. So we'll look at Jada's chart tomorrow. That was fun. Yes, he'll be fine. He needs time off to heal. Yes. So here is, oh my God, I've been on here an hour and almost an hour and a half. It does not feel like that. Star ancestors. This is interesting. What does this card mean to you? I want you to apply it to your life. In a way, I kind of feel like this is what we've been doing tonight, connecting with our star ancestors. Hidden secrets, lost wisdom, look a little deeper. Oh my gosh, I did not know I was on here this late. Wow. Okay, so it says the ancients knew much more than we do about our connection to the stars. How crazy is it that we've been looking at astrology tonight? Their pyramids, temples, and other places of worship created a precise alignment with the stars, exist in all corners of the world. What if this ancient wisdom is available for you to uncover now? You're being called to think and listen with your ancient heart and soul. Oh, I like that. To tap into the part of you that remembers and knows. All ancient secrets are whispered forever in your ears. I love that sentence. All ancient secrets are whispered forever in your ears. All mystic knowing blooms in your heart. All potent power pumps through your veins. You're being invited to step into your ancient knowingness. So, y'all, in SAI ladies, y'all know this is what I'm always talking about. Well, we talked about it the other night too on one of these live streams. I'm starting to lose track. I have told y'all, we go within. We go within. All of it is within us. Yes, we will study. We will adopt whatever rituals and stuff like we want to, but ultimately it's all within. You're being invited to step into your ancient knowingness, to be held by the rememberings of star ancestors, to look a little deeper. If you're feeling stuck, you're being called to do something different, to change your point of view. Creativity happens when we put together two things that don't belong, when we do the unexpected. So often, a creative solution is right in front of us. But because we think the same thoughts and act the same way, we miss what's in the open. You're here to remember and uncover ancient secrets and transmissions. Wow. Technology and wisdom that are so needed on the planet right now, to unlock your soul's memory of a time when we lived in harmony on earth. And one day we will again. And a lot of people want to know about the Orisha. And one of the chief teachings of the Orisha tradition is that the Orisha tradition is about living in harmony with nature. So I'll add that in there. And you can say this affirmation: I'm ready to remember ancient mysteries and secrets deep within. Okay, I see you. I like this one. Okay, let me see here. Put this on because y'all, no taxes will be done tonight. I'm so sleepy. Okay. Woo, that was deep. Yes, time flies when you're having fun. Yes, Eileen, it's the Starseed Oracle. I love that deck. The card matches perfectly. Yes, it does, Ashley. Oh my gosh. I love all of this astrology every day. Yes, Lemurian quartz in hand. I love that. Lemurian quartz in hand. Yes, you told me, Ashley. You told me. Do more astrology. Eileen cracks me up. Oh my God. Astrology every day, period, with the T, baby. Wonderful. Astrology rules everything around me. I love it. Oh my gosh. Oh, this has been so fun. I'm going to go out with a little bit of fun energy. Yeah, it's Friday. We need to have fun. I hope that y'all have enjoyed this. Kudos to the hashtag replay queens. Thank y'all so much for watching in the replay. And as always, to the sistars who have been here during this live, thank you so much. I'm wishing y'all a wonderful, wonderful weekend. I'll probably come on a little bit earlier tomorrow. I actually have a friend who's celebrating her 50th birthday. So I'm supposed to go over there and surprise her. So grateful for you all. Yes, 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 yes. Love y'all. Y'all have some of the best humor also, the best personalities. Yes, Ashley, I am going to have fun. Can you believe it? I can't. It's only because this person is very special, because I'm just really in my hermit mode. I love coming on here with y'all, but hanging out with a bunch of people, nah. Right, Eileen? She said she's going to see if the homebody makes it. I'll let y'all know. I will let y'all know. Mwah. Okay, y'all, I'm headed to bed. I'm so sleepy. So I'm going to drink a little water, put on my little nightgown, and I'm out. Love y'all. Love y'all. Love y'all. Have a good evening. Peace and love.